Carissa Gannon hopes her works create a pause that signals everyone to collectively stop and take a breath. Her series employs alcohol ink to create compelling petri dishes as paintings. Her work is reflective of this past year, 2020, which Gannon characterized as overstimulating in many facets. She has used her work as a way to soothe herself and, by extension, provide a sense of relief to her viewers, whom she hopes can walk away with that same feeling fully absorbed.
Here are some of Carissa Gannon's works.
Transforms the ephemera of her life into an elegy. She layers almanac pages, dictionary excerpts, cast-off sketches, and even children's drawings to create her own worlds. The charcoal, the watercolors, the acrylics, the papers, and her all collaborate to tell a story, more recently of a biographical nature. Repeating images, shapes, and colors brings the composition together in a buoyant, floating manner, which toys with space and time. Text and font add a sense of visual silence and expression. Zimic juxtaposes rough urban landscapes with delicate natural wildlife, exploring overlap of ecosystems and effects of human interaction. She melds her conservationist mind with her artistic passions, creating pieces that reflect what she sees, the struggle of an environment devastated by humans' destructive intrusions. Her art grew beyond her initial book illustrations, extending into the realms of drawing, painting, and sculpting. She advocates for environmental policy improvements. No matter what she works on, her efforts promote a mindful and compassionate attitude towards nature and its delicate, intricate habitats.
These are really stunning.
Price questions the psychological relationship between imagination and reality, fixating on the archetype of myth and legend. He seizes on the quintessential imagery that transcends cultural barriers, seeing these trends as a spark of imagination. His paintings and reliefs use natural pigments hand-ground from rocks and crystals, reminiscent of the Renaissance painters. In his reliefs, figures burst from the picture's plane to highlight the tension between illusion and materiality, while his paneled works investigate the functionalities and limitations of the poetic narrative.
Joaquin McKean is constantly inspired by those he comes across as he journeys through life. His passion for the performing arts and involvement with theatrical set design plays into how he paints his backgrounds. The simple geometric forms are hint and movement, anticipating players on the stage of his work. The concept of the individual is at the forefront of his work, celebrating what it means to be human in each and every one of his pieces. McKean also utilizes atypical space as dynamic canvases such as that hollowed out drums and old lighting fixtures, which house intricate scenes that all converse and communicate with one another. His complex creations capture the viewer's attention and then encourage them to think on the dramatics they see painted, as well as the ones ever present throughout his daily life.
Steve Cabala examines the human figure in his works, demanding viewers find beauty in fellow beings while they ponder wildly subjects within human rights. A graduate of the School of Visual Arts, Cabala uses watercolor to paint victims of human trafficking, a majority of them being women, with great respect and overwhelming empathy. A scholar emphasized the difficult reality of those impacted by cruel and brutal practices, while the forms manifest memories and dreams of what and who they wanted to be before inhumanity twisted them. In 2010, Cavallo designed the United States' first memorial to comfort women, sexual slaves of Imperial Japanese soldiers in World War II, in Palisades Park, New Jersey. His striking works compel viewers to connect with victims of this intense trauma and ponder what it means to be human.
An artist, but also a mother, wife, sociologist, and insurance broker. Her inspiration comes from nature's awesome patterns and mysterious rhythms. Her detailed graphite drawings and vibrant acrylic paintings convey the relaxing, stress-free atmosphere offered by the forests that she hikes around. Her series, Ice Forest, is based on the minute ice formations that covered a small wooden bridge she and her dog passed over daily on their walks during the pandemic. Her bold colors and abstract shapes act as escapism, yet a careful viewer can discern their real-life sources.
Wes Sherman seeks to understand humans' conflicting relationship with nature, as people desire control over the unconquered, yet crave a retreat into its tranquility. He believes painting is one of the earliest acts of human beings, depending his interest in history and illustrating his view on art's impression on humanity. His love for abstraction and light scan is evident in his works, as painting define life and contextualize people as a part of nature. He begins his work by drawing to refine and capture the composition, then painting to broaden the narrative and tell a story. Sherman received a Master of Fine Arts from Mason Gross School of Arts at Rutgers University and currently serves as chair of exhibitions at the Center for Contemporary Art in Bedminster, New Jersey.
Charity Henderson explores psychological states emoting on the human face through blurred edges and textured strokes. Her portraiture series, presented here, uses oils and graphite on duralar, depicting precise details that become fragmented as the view expands beyond the face. Her use of translucent medium for a background evokes obscure sensibility, one of Henderson's signature techniques, as the sharpness of the subject's features demand notice. The eyes lock with the viewers, establishing a deep sense of intimacy as a spectator and a spectacle.
Sajal Sarkar uses his art to change the world, orienting trajectory away from needless violence and instead towards peace and stability. Deeply impacted by the story of his family, who fled from ethnic riots to India from East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, in 1947. Sarkar themes his works around socio-political issues that persistently ferment conflict in all corners of the world. His recent works toy with the notion of the multiverse, a belief that our universe exists amongst a myriad of parallel ones. These works express sadness and loss, conveying the nuisances of risk and uncertainty plaguing people's lives. Sarkar received his postgraduate diploma in graphics from Maharashtra University of Baroda and graduated from the Government College of Art and Craft in Kolkata. Over the years, he has earned many accolades, attending a multitude of workshops in residence for painting and printmaking, presented in art galleries worldwide.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Miriam Stern, in her latest series, Cover Up, returns to old paintings she is no longer satisfied with and alters them. She paints tarps, canvases, boxes, and packing materials, then covers up some areas of her older works, but leaves others be. This series is a metaphor for concealing secrets, as it can be difficult to keep something under wraps without at least part of it spilling out. While she began her works before the COVID-19 pandemic, the combination of the disease's impact, the isolation it brought, and the George Floyd protests increased the significance and relevance of her work. The tarps are similar to bandages, similar to someone futilely hiding a crime committed, which relates to the introspection Stern has gone through, analyzing her own actions, as well as that of her country throughout history. While the subject matter seems benign, she evokes the deep need to confront the past collectively and honestly.
Ethan Patrick Sherman operates within a set parameter, constraints set either by the physical materials used or imposed by his refined process. His practice examines humanity's relationship with the natural world with man-made mechanisms as lens. The environments built, objects designed, systems enacted, and our perceptions and interactions with those constructions all inform his bodies of work. Using primarily enamel, with occasional additions of graphite, ink, and acrylic, he transposes bold colors and evocative textures onto linen stretched over a panel. Like his work, Sherman is a blend of backgrounds, with experience in painting, drawing, sculpting, and photography. He received a BFA in printmaking and sculpture at the Mason Gross School of Arts at Rutgers University. His works have been featured in publications and exhibited throughout the United States, France, Argentina, and Pakistan. From 2014 to 2018, he was a member of A Little Berlin and curated Oyak, and developer, and curated Elan Official Spring Summer 2017 at the Arts Run Art Fair in Baltimore, Maryland.
Karen Terry finds her greatest inspiration in nature, particularly the seasonal changes and simple scenes. She draws from her daily interactions with nature and utilizes her techniques to create low-light images of the environment without the use of hard lines. Her images tap into visual and sensory memories, extending beyond her own experiences and to the universal. While Terry retains the essential nature of her subjects, her monochromatic Sumi ink washes and minimal expressionism capture the unseen spirit of the natural world.
This is definitely one of the lighter ones we've seen. I just that small little hint of like total darkness really just puts a lot into it, and different textures, the gray kind of gradually getting lighter. It's all very. I like the contrast.
This almost looks like a. This almost seems like a view of a like a landscape on the horizon, like the dark areas being some low hills, and the lighter gray being the sky.
Yeah, it almost like the edge of a cliff or something to me.
Yeah. Especially with the one before this, salutations. That one first. My first impression was that it looked like a coast. It looked like a coastline with it looks like a coastline with the brightest spot in that, with the brightest spot looking like the sun, looking like probably the sun shining through the clouds.
Yeah, there's definitely similarities between these two, even though their colors are so different.
Yeah.
Well, most of my work, I would say, I would characterize as landscape in nature. So landscape or seascape. A lot of the titles that are applied are, I don't want to say more esoteric, but may hearken to the intent of the painting, but also if you recognize that the thread is landscape, yes, you would find, the terra firma in this, as well as the sky, or you could interpret that as water, just a water. This painting, I don't know if you can see it, has a lot of modeling in that gray. I'm saying not modeling, but modeled areas, which are to me very beautiful and very exciting. And so it adds detail that may not be really apparent as we're looking at this image itself.
Yeah, I
But, yeah.
That modeling coming through too, in the repeated, almost not quite identical, but repeating patterns throughout.
Right.
Right.